Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Veronica Brandon Miller, and this is Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good, the show that shares the good that is happening in our community. And we are so thrilled to be able to have this show. So just remember, when you donate or shop at Goodwill, you are actually helping to change lives through the power of work. And also, thank you to all our sponsors who help pay for this wonderful, wonderful show. But I want to remind you that the good doesn't stop right after the show. At 11 o'clock today, turn on WSRQ radio, and the conversation will continue with our wonderful guests sharing the good that is happening in our community. And don't forget, check out your latest copy of Suncoast Living magazine. And again, we can find out even more information about the terrific services and organizations we have in our community, and including the wonderful companies who do good corporate social responsibility. So thank you. And now, why don't we just dive right into the show, because we have a lot to talk about, because this show's focus is on unique and wonderful services we have in the community. And there were two that were brought to my attention that I said, do you know what? I need them on the show. I need them on the show. We will be talking to Sandra Terry, the Executive Director for the Laurel Civic Association, and also Katrina Bellemare, Executive Director of the Family Partnership Center. Two amazing organizations, and if you haven't heard about them, sit back, enjoy. We're going to talk about some awesome things. Sandra, why don't we start with you? What is Laurel Civic Association?
Laurel Civic Association is a community-based nonprofit that has a children's program and an adult program. And since we are community-based, we tend to deal with some problems that the larger organizations don't deal with.
Yeah, I love it. It says empowering youth and families. Who wouldn't want to support an organization that empowers youth and families?
Right.
So when you say things that people don't want to talk about or discuss, what are you talking about?
Not so much discuss, but maybe not have the grassroots time to deal with like we do. Like little old ladies who nobody might not know. They may not know these people need help, but we would know they need help. And we help families who have just small problems that can be big problems. And we tend to help them a lot, and people tend to send those people to us. We have an after-school homework program that was started because we knew a group of boys couldn't read and they were in 4th grade. And that was how we started in '92 with the homework program.
Wow. So how do people find you? Do you have to live in Laurel?
We serve Sarasota County.
Okay.
And most of the people we serve don't live in Laurel. So we're not Laurel. That's our name because that's how we started. But most of the people we serve don't live in Laurel. We are a nonprofit.
It's kind of like Easter seals. They don't deal with Easter seals anymore, but they're called Easter seals.
Right.
So, all right. So the services you provide. Now, you being the executive director, it's funny because you have this wonderful reputation in the community of a very, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Very wonderful, caring, brilliant lady. So you were talking about 1992. How long have you been with the organization?
Since 1988.
And that's when you started their nonprofit.
Yeah, the nonprofit started in 1989. The organization actually started in 1969. And from 1988 until 99, I was actually a volunteer, and I worked right across the street at GTE for 32 years.
Oh, wow.
And I retired in 99. So I've been doing this.
So this is retirement, really?
This is retirement.
Retirement.
Since 99, yeah.
Wow. Well, we're blessed to have you here because the Laurel Civic Association is extremely, extremely caring. And like you said, you're taking on issues that a lot of people, it's an oversight, or they have other pressing issues and they're like, oh, you know, I can't deal with this. So this is wonderful. Now, how do people find out about you?
We have a website. We're on Facebook. Just Google Laurel Civic Association and you'll be surprised at the things that come up. But our website is www.laurelcivic.org. And just give us a call.
Now, do churches reach out to you?
We have so many mission partners, and that's one of the ways that we survive is with our mission partners. They really believe in what we do, and they support us year after year.
Okay, so they're your financial supporters?
They are one of our financial supporters.
How else can people support you?
We survive on volunteers, grants, donations, and our collaborations.
Now, what can a volunteer do?
We have our after-school homework assistance program, which is heavily supported by volunteers, and that's, of course, from August until May, and it's in the afternoon from 3 to 6. We have a food drive. We work with the postal carriers, Hunger Drive.
Good.
That's in May, second Saturday in May, and we usually have about 100 volunteers that help us sort, pack, date food, and that's a big one. And then we have a large, what we call a farmer's market in November, where
nice.
we distribute the postal carrier food all year, and we distribute a bunch of it then at Thanksgiving, and we do a whole farmer's market and have people come down who can give information to the people we serve.
Now, how many people do you serve?
Unduplicated, we serve about 900 adults a year, and children about 500.
Now, okay, so we went back to the Laurel thing, just my geography. All right, so Sarasota County, it started in Laurel and Sarasota County. No? Okay, all right, good, I got something going. And then when you expand it, how far reach?
Sarasota County.
The entire county now.
We have a program this summer called Teen Empowerment that we started because our kids aged out of camp. So we started that about 10, 11 years ago. And we get kids from Newtown to Northport in that program.
Wow.
We had like 40 kids this year.
That is huge.
We also sell bus passes for SCAT. And of course, that was good because we could give the kids SCAT bus passes. But we've always been countywide when we were doing housing. We don't have time to go into that. But we were like the first ones in the county housing program. And of course, that's countywide. And we did housing from Newtown to Northport.
Wow.
So, yeah, we're little, but we're mighty.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And that's something that I want everyone to hear because, you know, we're talking about, I love the fact that you said Newtown to Northport because that's a total visual of how vast, and you talked about two major areas in our community that need that help. So, and everywhere in between. So how can people support you?
As I said, we do subsist on grants, donations, and volunteers. And
they can go right on your website.
They can go on our website and donate. We would love to have them come and take a tour.
Yes.
And people really get the full picture of what we do when we give them the tour of our facility. Well, we don't have a facility, but
you know. I know what you mean. Hey, so there's another fundraiser you need. There you go.
Right.
We got your attention. Right. But it's true. I implore, if you do have some time, you're going to hear about wonderful programs. Take the time, go out, visit, because we don't want just someone to donate. We want you to really know about the services and these wonderful organizations and invest. And if you're going to invest, you need to know where your money's going and fall in love and be careful because you will. You will fall in love with Sandra. So, so they go through the tour and...
Well, they'll go through the tour, and the thing with our adult programs, you know, we do light heap intake, we do season of sharing, we do things that people come in that maybe there's no place to do it, so we sometimes use what we have in reserve, which isn't much, to help people. And our adult programs we can't charge for them. So that program is a program that we really
need
funding for because you can't charge somebody for helping them with their light bill.
Yeah.
But the person helping them has to be paid.
Right.
And that's the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand about nonprofits is that the people who work there aren't volunteers.
Right.
They have to be paid, and that money has to come from somewhere. And that's one of the...
And Goodwill partners with you, and I hope you always know that you can contact Goodwill for when there's something we do that
Yeah,
can
you
help
guys have helped us because we have people come to us who don't have a bed or they need clothes for their kids right away, or they're really, really desperate, and you guys have helped us with that.
Oh, well, we're glad to be able to help because what you're providing is so needed and such a blessing in our community. So I'm thrilled that you're on the show and that you were able to share everybody about the Laurel Civic Association. And if you haven't heard about it, now you do. We just gave you power. We just gave you knowledge. So go share with others and then get together an entire bus. And why don't we take a tour? Because, again, invest in our community, invest in the wonderful resources we have. So, yeah. Now, she's in Sarasota County. Where are you?
We serve Manatee and Sarasota County.
Okay.
And we provide parenting education is our core focus. And basically, we are the organization that you go to when you have questions about parenting. So we really just want strong families. We want kids who are safe, and we want households that are stable for them to grow up in, and also just to help relieve some stress for parents, because we don't always have the answers. We don't always know what to do with our kids. We get stressed out, there's behavioral issues, or maybe it's a parent with a child with special need or a different temperament than she knows how to deal with or he knows how to deal with. So we have a variety of services available. We serve almost 1,000 families every year. And basically, our core program is an in-home program where parents can contact us and just say, I'm not sure what to do about this situation. I have, a child out of control, or I'm just so stressed out, or I'm handling it in a way I'm constantly screaming and hitting, and I don't know how to deal with this. And we have a program where you can have a professional come into your home once a week for an hour and just help walk you through some ways to deal with that.
At a cost?
Most of our programs are free. There might be a $10 enrollment fee.
What?
If they can
That's
afford
it? Wow.
Because we have a lot of generous supporters through the county, but the wait list is always very long. Unfortunately, our wait list for in-home program can be up to 2 months right now. One of the things we do offer is English and Spanish programs, and so it's really meeting a need in the community that is underserved oftentimes, that there's families that don't speak the language or can't always prepare their kids for school because they can't, speak that other language that kid needs to thrive. And
So you teach the classes?
We teach classes. We have workshops. We have a variety of different services. So we have the in-home program, which is our core program, like I said. But we also have a musical motion program, which is a really fun kind of parent preschooler play group. Where parents can come and just enjoy time with their child. Their children are learning to socialize with other kids. They're learning literacy. They're interacting socially with each other. So a lot of skills that really help develop what they need to be successful in school. We have one kid who, I just recently heard a story that always just chokes me up, but there was a boy who was 2 years old and he was not speaking yet. And so his form of communication was like, and this mom was just so frustrated. And our Lizzie, who teaches the Spanish parenting group, is English and Spanish musical motion classes. She's like Dora on steroids, is what I call her. She's got so much energy. And she's like, no, you need to just come. And she's like, but he's hard to get along with the other kids. And she was like, I can't. She's like, you just need to come. She was in the program for a year. And she was doing, remember those little sticks you had in school when you were doing music class and everybody's going around, we used to hit each other, but tapping together. So she's doing something where she's, working with up, down, and so she's doing this, and all of a sudden she looks at this little boy and he goes, up, down, and of course her eyes get huge, and she's like, I just, I just kept going until this kid, would stop.
Right.
And so of course she looks at the mom is in tears. She's heard her kid's voice for the very first time saying something audible that she understood, and the other parents are like, why aren't we stopping? And they look and realize what's happened, and they're all crying with this mom and really just supporting her. And so that's kind of the atmosphere we try to develop. Is parenting's a hard job, and it's nothing you should have to do alone. there's lots of information out there. There's lots of resources and support. And our strongest parents are the ones that say, I want to know as much as I can to be successful at this. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So we have lots of different services for them. We also have a new program for adoptive families we're really excited about. Manatee County government actually funds that program because there was, unfortunately, many children who were being returned back into the system. There were like 14
Which is
kids.
devastating.
Devastating. You know, some of them got suicidal. Some of them, it's just, you know, they felt like they weren't wanted and loved and just horrible things. And there's just a different dynamic that happens when there's an adopted child. I worked in international adoption for 4 years, and there's just things that parents can be prepared for when they come up. It's not that it's not a family or it's any different than the other family, but there are just things that child needs reinforced and that parent needs to understand that we're there for. So we partner with 2 other agencies, Family Resources and Family Network on Disabilities, to also provide counseling and respite care for some of these families, and just a lot of just support services to really help them have all the resources that they need. So that's also a really exciting one. There's a new Parents Cafe for adoptive families that's opening up in Parish. It's going to be the last Monday of each month. And they can look at our website, familypartnership.org, to find more information about that and just get plugged in. I think.
Thank you for coming out to Parish. I guess
Thanks for
that's where I
Parish.
live.
Yeah. Oh, we are there. Yay! I live up there too. So, but it really is just a lot of resources for those parents. Our parenting educators are really stellar at what they do. You know, a lot of them are master's level, and they've done a lot of training in parenting education and child development and understanding kids. And so that we are actually able to take court cases. So if parents are required to take parenting education because there's been an abuse call and it's on their case plan, our staff is skilled to do that. They can go in and help prevent child abuse from happening again because,
Breaking the cycle.
breaking that cycle. Parents just don't realize. We have a mom who comes out and talks on our behalf all the time. She said, I was locking my child in a dark closet. And I didn't know it was wrong. Her child was regressing. It was stunning the development. This child was petrified because he would just get locked in this closet. And she saw, that's what's happened to her. And she's, it's effective in stopping the behavior. We had a board chair who was just so great. One of her comments that she made that always sticks with me is, children deserve more than a parent who just doesn't know. And there's so much as parents that we don't know. I've got 4 kids. I ask the parenting educators questions all the time. And I just always leave in awe of my kid, where I'm like, there's so much they're learning and developing, and it just reduces that stress to understand what they're trying to gain and what their goals are. So that's why we're here.
And see, that's great because both of you said wonderful things, empowering families. And, when I moved here close to 10 years ago from D.C., you hear about small towns. I'm like, oh, what's going to be here? There are so many resources in here.
Yes.
So many resources. I'm blown away every time I meet a new organization. Sure, people are like, oh, great, another nonprofit. But do you know what? There is an organization and a service, I swear, for everything. Everything. And just dive into it and look because we're going to talk about funding, but I don't want to forget to mention the Giving Challenge is coming up September 20th and 21st from noon to noon, thanks to an enormous amount of community support and philanthropists. So look into these organizations and start going on tours, finding out how you can help, how you can volunteer, and then also if there's a way to give financial support, please, because for these organizations to be financially secure so we can help our families and children and stop child prevention. That's not prevention, child abuse prevention. Yeah. That would have been great.
That's a different topic.
That's a different topic. But I'm vice chair for Child Protection Center, so it is dear to my heart. So knowing that you have these additional resources, it is so important.
Thank
so
you.
important. So how can people support you?
Obviously financially.
Yes.
The Giving Partner Challenge is amazing. That usually comes with matching challenges and more bang for your buck and support. We do have some volunteer opportunities around events and things, and we do have a really cool event coming up, the local exchange clubs, which are kind of like a service networking group. has thrown for the second year now the Sangria Showdown. And all of those proceeds come to our organization. Last year, they packed the house. There was over like 200 people in this area that we thought would be sufficient. It was just, we were crammed in there. So we've gone to a bigger venue at Renaissance on 9th. It's September 16th. And basically local restaurants will come give their sangria and have people taste it, and you get to vote on your favorite in the community. So it helps local restaurants. And we raised last year $5,000 for the organization, and we're hoping to raise even more this year. So if you like sangria and local restaurants, they'll also bring appetizers, and there'll be entertainment and lots of fun stuff to do that night. So you can go to sangriashowdown.com and learn more about that opportunity.
And then to find out more about the
Family Partnership. Yep, familypartnership.org, or always just call me. If you want to know more, it's 756-3007.
And I am, again, encourage everyone to go on a tour because, you know, again, empowering healthier, safer families. There's nothing more important because when you have a strong family, right, grades go up, safety goes up, crime goes down, you name it.
Right, helps the whole community. Strong families are kind of the basis for everything. So if you're looking at community issues and you want to, you know, reach them at their core, our programs are really there to help create a better environment for everybody.
Do you have a good story to talk about how one of your programs changed a life?
Our programs really empower families and youth. When we really started back in the late 80s, we had kids who came who were like 4 years old. And one story, because you don't have a whole time, because I have a whole page of it. But the one story that's really interesting right now is one of our students who came to us in kindergarten, and like some other students who came to us in kindergarten, they went through our homework program, they went through our teen empowerment, they went through all of our programs, and we keep up with them. We don't normally let them go. When she was in teen empowerment for a few years, and then she volunteered in camp. Sarasota County has a program where you can volunteer and get some of your hours you need for school. And then if you do that and you work out well, you get hired. Well, she did that a couple of years. Then she got hired as a counselor, and she was a wonderful counselor. Well, this year she's running the entire camp.
Oh, cool.
I love success.
And I have to say, even back when we were doing camp and paying for camp and everything, and then the county started, you know, doing everything, this was the best camp, I think. I may be a little prejudiced, but I think this is the best camp we've ever had this year because she is so wonderful with children. And of course, she went through the teen empowerment, and then she was in Take Stock through us, and then she went to Valencia Community College. And that's the road that we take our kids through when they come to us. And we've had plenty of them that come at 4 and now they're grown. So that's kind of what we do.
And you got to see her grow
Yes.
into such a beautiful story.
That's
Aw.
amazing.
Yeah, and see, that's why you do what you do. I mean, because you see it's actually making a difference, and you can also help make a difference and continue to financially support these wonderful organizations. I know we mentioned Sangria, but do you have any other events coming up?
Those are the main ones coming up right now. I did want to thank you for the partnership we have with Goodwill. Sometimes we get referrals of families that really need services, and you know they may have a special need of their own, and they're able to parent through that. And so we're happy to support them too. So we love working with you guys.
Oh, good. Well, again, Goodwill believes just in that, providing goodwill in the community, and whenever we can, we're there. And more important, when any of your clients or partners or whatever need jobs, always think of Goodwill, because primarily what Goodwill does is take the donations that we receive, either cash or your unwanted items, And the sale of those donated goods go towards creating jobs in our community and helping people find jobs through our 9 job connections throughout 4 counties here. So we are grateful that we have organizations like you to help. So with that, I do want to mention an event that is coming up. And we are partnering with iHeartMedia for the 2nd year in a row. Very exciting. And also, we have Cool Today as a sponsor and Rapid Security Solutions. And on September 7th, we are going to have the Young Guns of Country. So 92.1 CTQ is bringing 5 unbelievably fabulous entertainers here on the Van Wezel stage, again, September 7th, including Chris Lane. I don't know if you like country music, but they're coming in. And yes, tickets are free, but you need to go on experiencegoodwill.org and find out where 92.1, the locations they are giving the free tickets. And it's just another wonderful partnership that we do with iHeartMedia at 92.1. Lulu and Maverick, we love you, love you. But yeah, it's going to be a great event. And yes, sponsorships are still available if you want to do a meet and greet with any of the stars, or most important, I forgot, Nancy's barbecue will be there too.
Don't get the food.
Oh yeah, I cannot get the food. And I think I've mentioned Nancy's macaroni and cheese every show, and I'm just going to constantly mention it. Oh, if you haven't had it,
No.
Oh, see, now I'm so hungry. Okay, so anyway, so check out, again, September 7th, but also September 16th for the Sangria Showdown. There it is. Tickets are now available, right?
They are available. SangriaShowdown.com.
There you go. Go get your tickets. And thank you, Sandra Terry from Laurel Civic Association, for being on the show. You want to mention the website one more time?
www.laurelcivic.org.
laurelcivic.org. And we also want to thank Katrina Bellemare, I love that name, from the Family Partnership Center. And what's your website?
FamilyPartnership.org.
Very easy, and definitely continue to write in and let me know your thoughts about the show. And when you go to visit these places, I love to hear good stories too. I don't want to just give good stories, I want to hear good stories. So thank you for sharing your Sunday with us.
Yes.
We enjoyed it. And again, tune in at 11 o'clock today for Goodwill, Minnesota's Tell Me Something Good on WSRQ. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
That will look great on you. Every time you shop here, you have the power to change lives.
Does she work here?
No, she's just a proud supporter of Goodwill.